Hello everyone, welcome back to Red Dead Online with me, Longclaw Valerian Steel, where we always deliver. Well, lately I've been craving the peace and tranquility that I only ever get by playing Red Dead Online, and in particular doing some hunting for materials for my trader business. This is one of my absolute favourite things to do, and I've recently located two tall trees with my moonshine shack and my camp, and I've spent a week or so tucked quietly away in the woods hunting. So let's take a look and see how that went for me.
Crazy how I met you. Forgive me, I lost my way. I heard you say
So here we are, just look at these surroundings, you really can't beat it. There are several provinces in the Red Dead Online map, and one of the coolest things about the game, for me, is the vast attention to detail. As you travel around from province to province, it's not only the scenery that changes, but the animals and the noises you hear all change too, giving the place a vital character of its own. If you've watched any of my Red Dead Online guides on my channel, you'll know that I spend a lot of time in the Heartlands, mostly because it's very flat. It's easy to get to places like Valentine and Strawberry, and of course Le Gras and Saint Denis as well. And it has a lot of deer and buffalo, which are easy to hunt because of the massive open grassland areas. So my style of hunting, which is usually picking animals off with a sniper rifle, works very well. If you're familiar with my channel, you'll know that I play a lot of different games, and if I'm not using my submarine to infiltrate a tropical drug lord's compound in GTA Online, or conquering kingdoms with my Viking longship in Assassin's Creed Valhalla, I can often be found fighting for my life against zombies and supernatural beings in Resident Evil. So after all that tension and heat, I like to wind down doing something a little calmer to balance my nerves, and this time I decided to go proper wild man and take it to the woods in tall trees. This area is perfect for getting away from it all. My camp is just east of the Manzanita post, and my moonshine shack is also nearby, so I'm running back-to-back moonshine sales and hunting for trader materials in between. Hunting out here in the wilderness does have its drawbacks, one of which would be that there are less animals just standing around begging to be shot. Because the trees are tall, obviously, you make a fair bit of noise as you're navigating around them, and that alerts a lot of the animals. But once you get used to the area, you can navigate almost silently on your horse, and when you do spot an animal, it's usually a big one. There are plenty of bears around, black bears and grizzlies, as well as elk and moose, and there are wolf packs roaming about, as well as deers too. I've really enjoyed hunting in a really chilled way and running my deliveries for both the trader and the moonshine business, bringing in lots of money ahead of the next DLC, which I think will be dropping any time soon. This week, Rockstar are offering double roll XP for both Moonshine and Trader sales, as well as rank up bonuses too, so this is a good time to get out there and practice your hunting skills. With a sniper rifle, you can usually manage a clean headshot and get yourself a 3 or a 2-star kill, which brings in the most material value, filling up your bars quickly. And the sales are easy enough too, usually sending you to Thieves Landing or Blackwater, both of which are easy to get to. Another benefit of being out in the wilderness is obviously people will leave you alone. You might find a bit of traffic wandering around, as the Manzanita Post is a popular fast travel spot, but I've experienced very little attention from other players and almost no griefing at all out here. It's mostly just me and my horse Whisper, and the occasional interaction with Crips back at my camp, and a quick pet with my dog Prayer as she likes to say hello when I drop off some of the materials. And that's just the way I like it. I also enjoy my little chats with Marcel back at the Moonshine Shack, and there's nothing nicer than roaming about in the woods with this only sound is me and my rifle and the horse. It's really very quiet, and because of that it means you can hear a lot more of what's going on around you. The sound of a wolf howling to your left or a fox whooping to your right, but my favourite sound, strange as it may seem, is the sudden growl of a grizzly bear. These massive creatures are easy enough to take down with a single sniper shot. If you can get 2 or 3 star pelts, you'll easily fill up your trader bars quickly and pick up a lot of other useful items too, like claws, animal fat, not to mention meats which you can sell separately or eat. For me, Red Dead Online is a fantastic game which is still just getting going. The creators, Rockstar, have often commented that they're not trying to rush expanding the game, taking more of a considered approach, and fans of the game have long been asking for quality of life upgrades, allowing players to purchase a property and also more criminal related activity. And it does seem from recent hints and exclusives published in their newswire that the fans may be getting at least some of what they've asked for this year. I'm a money grinder, and I need the familiarity that I find in grinding the same activities over and over, and I see the challenge of earning money in the game as my main driver. So I just love the trader business, as it sees players hunting for animals and taking them to Crips at the camp, and he turns them into pelts and products that can be sold at a massive profit margin, making this business basically free to operate after the initial setup fees. With the frontier pursuits, it's best to mix up the activities and do a few things at the same time to maximise your ability to earn money. And I usually find the trader business works well with my moonshine business, which sees me essentially running local moonshine sales every 45 minutes and giving me plenty of time to do some hunting for my trader business in between. This is my usual setup and where I spend most of my time in the game at the moment. I do still run my collections for Madame Nazar, but I choose to do this separately, having a break from the trader role. And with the collections role, I find the naturalist role works nicely with that. I haven't actually been playing Red Dead Online that long, really only a few months now, and I've ranked up quite quickly, reaching level 20 in all the frontier roles, and I've done this by making smart decisions, and one of those was to base myself in the Heartlands to make ranking up as easy as possible. Now I've more experience with the game, I started to think about broadening that experience by basing myself in different areas of the map and seeing precisely how this affects the gameplay and the mechanics of my day-to-day grind. I must say, I really dig the low-key, off-grid benefits that come from moving out into the wilderness somewhere like tall trees, but I'm keen to look at all the provinces and what they have to offer. Laying low in Limone, crocodile hunting in the swamps of Le Gras, for example, or taking on the buffalo in Great Plains and camping out in Cumberland Forest with the cougars, stalking the panthers in Scarlet Meadows, or braving the mountain ranges of Amberino. In fact, now that I'm talking about this, I'm getting more and more excited to see what they've got to offer. Next up for me, though, I think will be New Austin, and I'll be bringing a video to my channel in the near future, so make sure you follow me for all the details. With the recent addition to GTA Online of the tropical island paradise of Cayo Perico, fans of Red Dead Online have started to wonder if there could be areas added to the map. And I'm not sure that we will see that, but we can't rule it out. What I think is more likely is that we might see things start to pop up in the existing map. This game is still a very vast and deep open world experience with so much to immerse yourself in, but not much going on in terms of quality of life. So properties, homesteads, ranches, that would be very cool, with money-making elements built in. I mean, the possibilities are endless, but now we're getting into my wish list. We don't really know what Rockstar have got in store for us until the DLC drops later this summer. What we do know about Red Dead Online is that it's become such a huge success with lots of players joining the servers. And while some of the game's player base have raised their hands complaining that there isn't enough to do in the game itself gets so much attention and makes so much money for Rockstar. Some fans say that the game itself gets boring after a while, and I understand completely. I hear what they're saying. Here's my take on it. You see, unless you're a money grinder, you might find it boring just hunting for materials or running sales over and over again. These activities themselves are repetitive. Collecting endless items for Madame Nazar or taking samples for Harriet, it gets boring after a while. And once you've nailed all the bounty hunter targets and even the advanced targets, it kind of feels like you've conquered the game. But of course you haven't. It's not a game that can really be conquered because it's still being developed. What seems to be missing is some of the other things that you might want to do if you're not into grinding. And I don't mean the series activities or the free mode events. And some of these are fun, but they don't really pay enough and it gets a little too griefy. And like everything, they become repetitive after a while. Rockstar added some new races into the game recently, and to say that they fell flat would be an understatement. Rockstar's Twitter account was downright abused following the update, as it seemed that so half-hearted. Fans were convinced and annoyed that Rockstar seems oblivious to the cries of anguish from their fans, many of which just stopped playing until the update comes out, of course. So what can we expect from an update on Red Dead Online? Well, robberies and criminal activities seems to be the conversation that most people are talking about. It seems most likely. This would allow players to rob homesteads, ranches, and I guess stores and train stations, and also holding up trains and things like that. That's been a fan favourite request for a long time too. Of course, you can do some of this stuff already, but there's no reward for doing it. You might pick up a little bit of money here and there, but there's no structure behind it. And what fans really want is some kind of criminal activity that has a story mode to run alongside it, a bit like the Moonshine story missions, which were very popular. Going back to me, well, being a content creator, I understand that sticking to one game limits your opportunities, and ultimately I play games that I truly love, and I usually make content for whatever I'm in the mood for at the time. I wouldn't make content for a game that I couldn't be bothered to play or that I was bored of, because I don't think the content would be very good and my audience wouldn't enjoy watching it. In fact, most of my videos don't get much attention at all, and I don't mind that. I know that my content is good, and when it does fall into people's laps, I think they probably enjoy it. And if you're watching this right now, I want you to know that I seriously appreciate you doing so, and I hope that you're getting something from the video. I will continue to do my own thing. I love hunting and fishing and running my sales, and I won't stop, and I will continue to produce content for all kinds of Red Dead enthusiasts, experienced players and new players alike. And if you're into this game and you feel a little bit flat recently, then take yourself off out into the woods, grow a beard and spend some time camping and hunting with your animals and get back to basics. This game is so beautiful and has so much character. I think actually this may be the only kind of game where you can do this, hunting alone out in the woods with a sniper rifle. Unless I'm mistaken, there aren't actually many games that are set 100 years ago in the American Wild West out in the frontier. I mean, I'm a fan of historical games, that's why I love Assassin's Creed. But Red Dead Online is utterly original in its concept, and I don't think players realise sometimes how lucky we are to have it. If Rockstar were to stop updating this or supporting it, and no more DLCs or anything like that, fans would soon start complaining. But don't worry, with the sales the game has made for its creators, I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. Instead, the opportunities for expansion are endless, and I'm very excited to see what the future holds for this fantastic game. If you need help getting set up with the roles, or which roles you want to have a look at in the Red Dead Online world, then take a look at the playlist on my YouTube channel. It's called Red Dead Online, and you'll find that I've got you covered. I've produced lots of beginner's guides for all the roles, as well as established guides for those players who want to nail the role upgrades and focus on earning money once you've got the first few ranks out the way. If there's anything you can't find, then just let me know in the comments and I'll get to work on it. I'll be journeying around the Red Dead Online map, as I say, and featuring different locations. So basically you don't have to, and you can see the difference between one location and another and make good choices about where you base yourself, because really it comes down to personal choice depending on how you play the game. Once you've hunted for enough materials, you'll be able to run a trader business sale. And unlike the Moonshine business, where you're usually lucky to make 250,000 from a single sale, that's a maxed out Moonshine operation, by the way, the trader business can offer a whole lot more. You see, a single local sale will make you 500,000, that's $500,000, and a distance sale will make you even more, 625,000. Again, this is when your operation is maxed out. The sale process is simple. You'll either be pursued by NPC gang members who's going to approach you at speed in waves while you're traveling, so you just need to make sure you have enough ammo and are carrying the right weapons before you launch the sale, in case this happens. If you're lucky enough to avoid this, then expect some gang members to be present at the drop-off, and they will already be attacking your buyers, so just keep your cool and you'll be fine. Make sure you always park your wagon in the delivery spot before getting involved, and that way the wagon, the delivery and your money is safe. Then clear the area, and once the last gang member is put down, you are done. If you do get any other players trying to steal the wagon, it does happen occasionally, particularly in built up areas, then just do what I do and reload the game to protect your sale and launch it again. No problem. And after a hard day's graft, there's nothing I like more than to visit my Moonshine bar and have a little dance with the local band. You see, this game is not all about toil and trauma. It's a very peaceful, laid back experience, and where can you do a little jig in your own private bar in an illegal establishment selling contraband alcohol that you've produced yourself? You see, this game is remarkable and I just love it. I appreciate everyone who's watched me, followed me, interacted with my videos. Please take a look at the channel for any of the other content, and I'll be back with another video very soon. Take care now.